Yeah, you're just gonna see me like this today. I mean, we're doing this in my room anyway. So like, um, mid doing my hair, mid developing my yoga curriculum, taking a minute to show you how I made the beat. So yeah, welcome to how I made How It Goes. So what I started doing was tapping into my nostalgia. Anime that I watched like Yu Yu Hakusho and Sailor Moon, games that I used to play on the N64, the PlayStation, the Dreamcast, even the GameCube, and the music that I grew up on. I listened to a lot of genres. Southern music is what I really inspired by: 3-6 Mafia, Project Pat, DJ Screw, No Limit Records, and that's sort of the vibe that carried me through this process. Everything felt like it came from my childhood, and the way that I mixed it down really represented my growth as a producer and the things that I pay attention to in music.
If you ain't rolling around with me when my money low, you can come around a bitch when my money roll. I roll with my punches, now I ride with my flow. Up or down, round and round, this is how it goes.
So as you can see here, I'm mad color coded. That just helps me when I make beats, and it really came in handy because I recorded all of the vocals in the FLP. I don't have Pro Tools, so I just made it work, and it worked. So for the melody, what I wanted to go for was like my nostalgic anime and video game sounds that I grew up with. And for the main melody, I went with this DX7 type of preset, Yamaha DX7. It's a retro synthesizer. I just got it named Yu Yu Hakusho on here. That's the intro part, but that melody carries through the whole beat. I made another one and raised it an octave. I got panning going on here, and that's actually how I achieve, long story short, achieve the mix sounding open. I use panning, automation, and chorus to achieve this open sound effect. The backing melody is so I have the backing melody panning on the opposite end of the main melody. And then I have this little flute. It's like a pan flute. And I just put a bunch of little vintage effects and chorus and delay on it to give it this VHS sound. And then I have the Sailor Sister Glimmer. It's just what I named it because it's the backing melody, but I altered the EQ so the glimmer sits on top of the beat. So it sounds like it's sprinkling on top of everything. And then I have the sine wave. It's on its own bus, but I have it sitting with the melody in the hook because it gives the counter frequency to that shimmer. And the bass is just a simple sine bass. And when you combine the melody and the sine bass, it sounds like this. And that's how I got the underwater wavy sound going. It reminds me of Super Mario and a little bit of Fruitiger Arrow stuff, and any game from the early 2000s and the 90s that had an underwater level. A little bit of Donkey Kong too. Oh man, good times. So for the percussion, I just kind of kept it simple. Imagine taking a pencil on my desk and slapping it down, making beats like I used to in school. If you know, you know. I was just inspired by some more southern music, and I wanted that bounce, sort of like a chopped and screwed thing. I incorporated another sound from my childhood, our childhood. If you remember it, I'll just let you hear it. Now that sound, it's not a sample. It's actually in a preset. So just a quick nerd thing. As a producer and a 007 James Bond fan. So that sound is from the game. There's two different sounds. The one that I'm using is called Infinite One. You could get it from the Emu Proteus instrument. It's like this thick, solid, like tangible plugin. And there's another version called Emu Effects or Emu Percussion, and that one is called Ice Missile. So happy hunting. I found every reason to use the sound. So it is what it is. But then when we get to the verse, it's a little bit different because I got the 808 and the sign sitting together. Well, not together. One's right after the other. I cut my 808 short, and same thing for the sine wave. So the 808 with the beat sound like this. And that's basically how I put the beat together. Like the rest was just automation and panning and separation. And to get the overall open sound, I used a lot of stereo imaging techniques, and I mixed it on whatever speakers I could. My monitors that I had for almost 10 years. All of my equipment is over like 8 years old. My parents got me this. They got me an audio interface. So I'm just working with the stuff I got. I mixed it on my stereos, my HomePods, my AirPods, my headset. I mixed it in whatever car I was in, and that's how I got that open sound. If you good here, then cool. Thank you. That is the making of the beat for how it goes. But if you want to stay a little bit longer, I actually wanted to show you how I layered the vocals. So for the vocals, I recorded my normal voice. I have a deep layer, and then I have a light layer. So the light layer, mentally, it comes from like my inner child. Stresses on my mind, and I worry I'll make it. If I stay on my grind, then I know I'm gonna make it. My normal voice is just me, no voice training as a trans person right now. I just didn't want to voice train.
Stresses on my mind, ain't no worry, I'll make it. If I stay on my grind, then I know I'm gonna make it.
Then there's the deep bridge. That's the one I do when I do mantra. When I'm meditating and I chant on a Bij mantra. When I meditate on my chakras and do the Bij mantra for each chakra, I let my voice get really low and deep down into my diaphragm. And I incorporate it in this song. Stresses on my mind, ain't no worry, I'll make it. If I stay on my grind, then I know I'm bound to make it.
I don't apologize when I say I'm medicated, cause I be minding mine and I'm heavy educated.
The first half of the hook is like a mantra, and the second half of the hook is like an opera. I listen to a lot of music across the world, and I incorporated a little bit of Indian classical music in my vocals too, because when I do the inflections for the first half of the hook, what I'm incorporating is known as a gamaka. And a gamaka is like a musical ornamentation thing. It's like a vibrato or a glissando or something like that, but for your voice. And I tried to incorporate a little bit of the jaru gamaka, which is like a slide. So you'll hear, stresses on my mind, ain't no worry, I'll bake it. If I stay on my grind and I know I'm bound to make it. For the second half of the hook, this is like more like an opera.
If you ain't rolling around with me when my money low, you can come around a bitch when my money grow.
I roll with my punches, now I ride with my flow. Up or down, round and round, this is how it go.
I made the hook sound ethereal, and then I have the verses a little bit more simple, because I want it to sound like it's in your face. So the verse 1 is right there in front of you. The second one is a little bit of the same. And the third verse is a little bit more ethereal because I incorporate my actual breathing as I'm recording in the mic, because that's part of the lyrical content too, but we'll get into that another time. And then when you incorporate everything thus far, it sounds like,
Stresses on my mind, ain't no worry, I'll bake it. If I stay on my grind, then I know I'm bound to make it. I don't apologize when I say I'm medicated, cause I be minding mine and I'm heavy educated. If you ain't rolling around with me when my money low, you can come around a bitch when my money grow. I roll with my punches, now I ride with my flow. Up or down, round and round, this is how it go.
so yeah, that's how everything came together. Hopefully it has taught you something. Hopefully it has made it maybe inspired you or something. I recorded this on a stage mic. It's just a stage mic. It's not any particular, like, it's a decent stage mic. It's a Sennheiser. I don't have a big studio, you know what I'm saying? And I just recorded this stuff here in my room. Like, I manipulated my bed sheets and my curtains. If it wasn't something I got from school and paying tuition for that, it was from what I got saving up from working. But yeah, that's basically it, and this is how it goes. So all right, peace out.
If you ain't rolling around with me when my money low, you can come around a bitch when my money grow. I roll with my punches, now I ride with my flow. Up or down, round and round, this is how it goes.